Yeah, you looking for me, you can find me at the barbershop. Pulling up to get a cut, bumping through the parking lot. I keep it clean, Rico's where I'm running to. If you in the city, then you probably gonna be coming to. King getting down, Red's getting down, Nick getting down, Ron getting down, just to name a few. Everybody blade on point. You trying to get fresh, I'm telling you this the joint. Hands down, top shop up in this vicinity. Promises age 9, LaRon been getting me. Temper on the side, I'm trying to grow out the way.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the K.O.S. Barber Club podcast, where we discuss the collection of wisdom on the science of everything in life. And we do so by interviewing our guests and seeing where they obtained a knowledge of self and how they obtained the self-concept to become the person they are today. With me today, I have a producer that's been making a lot of noise and been helping a lot of artists spread their word through the music. And I was just telling him right now that the music is taking their voice and their lyrics to another level. The producer from Miami, Tev95.
What up, what up?
What's up, Tev? How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, man. Like I was telling you earlier, so knowledge yourself. K.O.S. Barber Club podcast is about spreading knowledge, right? But not only knowledge like braggadocious-wise, but it's more like, how did we get to where we are now, you know? In my life, I went through a lot of struggles, and I had to make a lot of decisions that I didn't have the right guidance, but I listened to my intuition. And that got me to the point where I'm at right now. So I want to ask you, as a kid, what was your first conscious thought?
As a kid, what was my first conscious thought?
Yeah, like you were conscious, like you were looking around and you're like, okay, I'm here.
I mean, I have my earliest memories, but that's a great question. I really never thought of it like that. I mean, I always feel like I was self-aware of like the situation. I mean, I did martial arts when I was a kid.
Okay.
You know, I did judo, and my father was into like reading like the Bruce Lee books, like Tao Jeet Kune Do and the Art of Zen. So you know, he kind of exposed me to that when I was really young.
So you were learning about the mind and the body functions as a kid.
Yeah, so I was exposed to those things. I mean, not really deep. It's not like he was like, you know, trying to like, but he had it around and he would just mention it. And since I did martial arts, it kind of went hand in hand. So, you know.
So martial arts is what you remember as a kid the most?
Yeah, now that you asked that question, yeah, that's the first thing that kind of pops in my mind.
And you were doing judo?
Yeah, I did. First, I did Aikido.
Okay.
And I think I was so young, man. I think because I was in LA at that point, and I think it was at a gym where like Steven Seagal was at. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to remember.
Aikido's the Steven Seagal movement thing that they do?
Yeah, it's like, you know,
defense, right?
Yeah, it's like you don't strike, so it's like it's taking what you know. If someone strikes, you do a counter.
Got it.
And then we moved on to judo, and judo's an Olympic sport, and I did that for several years.
And your father's from where?
My father's from Cuba.
Okay. Yeah. It's
But,
big over there, judo.
Yeah. So he got me into that, and you know, I was born in Los Angeles, so I started judo in Los Angeles, and then when I moved out here, when I was like about, like I say, like 8 or 9, I kept going with the judo out here and competing or whatever. So yeah, that kind of gave me about, you know, a peace of mind of discipline. You know, I guess like you said, knowledge is not completely knowledge itself, but made me more aware about.
Yeah, it's like so you have self-awareness, right? And then you have with the self-awareness, you create a self-concept. So I'm guessing, I don't know, I'm guessing that judo and the martial arts had you create a concept of, all right, this is who I'm going to be this disciplined athlete.
Maybe not so clear and defined, but it showed me the value of discipline.
There you go. That's where I want to go.
Yeah, it showed me the value of discipline.
There you go. You know that if you're working on something and you're doing it day to day, you're going to improve, you're going to get better, and then you're
also going to meet resistance while you're doing it. You're going to have some resistance because, you know, it's a combat environment, so you're going to have wins and losses too. So you got to learn how to take the L. And yeah, so you know, to answer your question, yeah, I think it's the martial arts. I mean, I really never really thought of it in that perspective, but that's what comes to mind, man.
Nice. So that was what, elementary school throughout the whole time?
Yeah. So, you know, I did martial arts until I was a teenager-ish, around there. And so, you know, I ended up competing in judo. And
so that you were in California, born in what part of Cali?
In Los Angeles.
Nice.
Yeah, LA. So
East Los, nice.
Yeah. No, not East LA, but but you know, I lived in Los Angeles. I went to Atwater, you know, which is in the city, and
And this was in the 80s, right?
The 80s, yeah.
Nice.
80s, man. You know,
That was
where you know, it was banging back then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, colors.
I seen gang violence in first grade, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Take us there. How did you feel there? Was it scary? Was it like
I moved
unreal?
well, I was young. In kindergarten I was in the valley, which is kind of more like the suburbs, but then we moved in closer to the city.
Okay.
And which is, you know, Atwater, personally, Glendale is, you know, now it's a nice neighborhood. It's got a bunch of Armenians or whatever. But you know, I wouldn't say it was like a crazy. It wasn't Compton or anything like that. You know what I mean? But it definitely had. I mean, the school had gangs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was learning about gangs and like, you know, their tags and whatever at that age. I remember one of my Filipino friends was showing me about tags in first grade, showing me graffiti. And like how to tag up, and I brought that home, and my mom saw the folder. She's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I'm like, in first grade. She's like, "You know, this is bad." You know, and I didn't even have the concept of you know.
To you it was art.
Or
it was cool.
It was something that was cool when the kids were doing. So I was kind of learning how to throw up the tag, and you know, now in retrospect, that's, you know, those are like gangs and shit. You know.
Wow.
And but you know, luckily I never ran into any serious problems out there. So, you know, and
You kept it thorough.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you said you came out here at 9 years old?
Yeah, about 8 or 9 years old. We moved out here. Moved out to Hialeah first, and then we ended up in Kendall. And
it's like everybody's journey.
Yeah,
it's either like Hialeah or the beach, and then everybody ends up in Kendall.
Yeah. And here we are. You know, I can't say I was born in Miami-Dade, but I'm from Dade. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you're there at adolescent stage, like 8, 9 years old, you adjust. You know, you become that.
Yeah. You know, when I meet people out here, I always ask them, what high school did you go to? You know? And that kind of gives me a perspective of like,
true,
who they are in Miami. Like, you
correct,
know, like
knowledge of self-awareness of who and what you are.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It kind of gives me a snapshot of maybe how their life perspective could be.
Correct.
You know.
Correct.
So I went to Southwest. You know. So
nice.
In the graffiti era, I have all the graffiti writers from
nice.
Southwest. Yeah.
Who else went with you in high school that you're still in contact making music with now?
Not music dudes.
No.
Nah, like Southwest was a really graffiti school, man. Like
really,
yeah. That we had, you know, like we went to like all the ink heads. You know, the ink heads was out there. You know, Info, Deed. You know, which was a legend. You know, so like some old school names, and like that school was big on graph, and some break dancers, and there was some people that would do ciphers like in lunch. I remember this cat named Bizarre. He was really nice. And but there was not that many like we were listening to hip hop, but what was at the forefront was graph.
So it seems like that is what always grasps your attention.
That was like the hip hop element that, you know,
that really brought you in.
I guess that's the first real element that I got exposed to, even going back to first grade, like seeing the graph and shit. Like, you know, that's the element that I like.
Why do you think that really like got your attention?
You know, I guess I was around and I saw it. You know, I would just see it on the walls and stuff. So.
Yeah, in LA, and then you came to Miami.
And you know,
totally different style.
Yeah.
Did you bring the style from LA that you learned here?
I mean, I wasn't even writing like that. You know, I just was throwing up tags, and then I kind of like when I was back here, like I didn't get re-exposed to graffiti until like closer to high school.
Okay.
Because when I was in elementary school out here, like I finished elementary out here.
Just being a kid.
Yeah. So, but yeah, getting to high school was really like everybody was bombing. You know what I mean? Like, and like all of the hallways were bombed. Like people would damn near bring spray cans into
yeah, I remember that. They used to do the sweeps, and everybody's like, "Ah."
Now people would tag up with spray cans in the halls and shit.
Whoa,
shit look like fucking Gangster's Paradise, like that Coolio movies and shit.
That's an old movie. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
What's the actress name? What's her name? Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Pfeiffer. Yeah.
You guys.
What was the name of that movie? Was it called? No, not Gangster. The Gangster's Paradise was the soundtrack.
Gangster's Paradise was the Coolio. I think
it was the song for the movie.
I think it was called Gangster's Paradise.
Maybe. But anyhow, yeah, people were tagging. I got roped up a few times tagging, and I dropped that shit because I was whack. You know what I mean?
Or you just didn't like that attention, or what was the deal?
Nah, actually, you know, I got arrested a couple times for doing graffiti. One time in school, and another time out in the streets. You know, it didn't lead to anything serious, you know, like community hours or whatever. But, you know, nevertheless, you know, you got caught up in the system.
Wow.
And I wasn't really nice at it. I wasn't like doing ill pieces. Like I said, like I had the ink heads in my school, which is like a big ass Miami crew, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and they were doing like murals and shit. I wasn't doing none of that.
Nah. But you knew them and you were
I mean,
In
I
cahoots?
like they were like the older crowd, you know what I mean? So it's like I wouldn't run with them, but like it was everybody was exposed to that in
Got
school.
it.
So definitely I admired the style, but I let that go because I wasn't nice with it. I wasn't nice.
All right, so you came to Miami, pretty much created a concept of the grapher. You didn't like it, you let it go. So where did the music come into play?
I got into music. I always had a piano in my house. My mom had a piano, so like ever since I was a baby, there was always a piano in my house. So I would just get on it and just fuck around. It's not like I'm a trained pianist or nothing, but like I
No,
always had it there.
I could hear it in your beats.
Yeah,
I hear a
always
lot
had
of
it.
symphonies
Yeah, I
and a
always
lot of
had it.
long melotone, like,
Yeah.
and then it starts building, just like a piano.
Yeah, so I had the piano, and then in middle school, I joined the band, and I was a drummer in the band. I was in symphonic
Nice.
band and jazz band, and we would do shows or whatever. So like that's really when I learned music for real.
Okay. Do you know how to write music?
I know how to read music,
That's good.
very crudely, but like I know how to read
The
music.
basics, yeah.
Yeah, and then as a drummer, you don't really need to know notes. You just need to know the actual the rhythms. The quarter notes, the eighth notes.
Or like the
13
drum line, the movie.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Like
Yeah.
you can't read it. It's like, I don't need to read it.
I mean, like you're not playing notes on the drums.
Yeah, you're just
not,
going with the flow.
so you're playing the beat. So you're reading the syncopation or the notes, or you
Yeah.
know what I mean. But like you don't have to know A, B, C. You don't need to know the. But nevertheless, I know that as well.
Got it. And in high school, did you know you were going to start producing and doing any of that, or not really?
By that time, like I started really, really like getting into. Well, I was into hip hop probably. I bought my first tape like in 4th or 5th grade. I bought Public Enemy and I bought Black Sheep. Public Enemy, Apocalypse 91.
Oof, nice.
So that was, I guess, around 91, around that time. It could be maybe 92, And Black Sheep, the hit song was The Choice Is Yours, this or that. You could deal with this,
Yeah.
or you could deal with Engine number 9. So I bought, yeah.
That every time that comes on, everybody.
That album's classic too. So, I bought the whole album
Yeah.
because off that song. And I really got into that album, and I really got into the Public Enemy album. That Public Enemy has incredible production. The
Yeah.
Bomb Squad. Bomb Squad are legends as producers, and they're like, it's a movie basically.
Correct.
So that was like my exposure to like, oh, this is some real shit. And then I got into music in junior high as far as the drums. Already by high school, I was hooked on this shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was hooked on it.
You were recording.
I didn't really record until like the ending of high school or like the beginning, like right when I got out of high school.
All right. So you went from the band, you were listening to hip hop, then you made a decision like, okay, I'm going to start focusing on this, making beats.
Nah, it wasn't even that.
What, you start on Fruity Loops and stuff like that?
Nah, they didn't even have Fruity Loops. I had my first drum machine was an MPC,
Okay.
a 2000 MPC
Got it.
2000. I walked up into the Guitar Center in Kendall, on Kendall Drive, and I'm like, yo, what are they making beats with here? You know what I mean? And
Really?
yeah.
So how did you go to that mindset and like come up with that idea? Let me go to Guitar Center and let me see where they're making
Because
beats.
again, I was exposed to music. I was in the band when I was younger, so like I was around instruments. So I knew about my homie played the trumpet. I was in the percussion section playing the drums. So
Okay.
like we were in like it's an orchestra. It's
Have
like
you ever seen an MPC machine before or no?
No, I didn't know about it at that point. Like I had heard that there was a instrument like drum machines and stuff, but I didn't know what it was.
Wow. Do you think that's something like divine intervention, like a mystic type of thing that occurred in that moment? Because, dude, who walks into a Guitar Center and says, yo, where do you make beats from? Not that many people.
I mean,
That's a very unique story, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, yeah. Like I was already gravitating towards it, and I was like, what are they making?
That's what I'm
beats
saying.
with?
These are the things that I'm saying, like in
Yeah.
life, like, the universe never makes mistakes, man.
Mm.
If you're bound to do something and you really want to do it and you're a righteous person and you come with that love for whatever it is, somehow, some way, things always manifest.
And going off of what you're saying, it's like taking the initiative to like put a step forward, and ask. Like, yo, what how do I do? It's like me walking in there.
Exactly.
Now that you're mentioning it, it's like that. Now that I see it, like perhaps, like no one brought me the beat machine. Like,
Think about it. If you would have never said, yo, where's the, if you would have just looked around and, let's get out of here, your life would have been in a totally
or if I didn't even
different-
step in there, yeah, what I mean?
Exactly.
I went in there and I asked the worker, I was like, or the sales guy, I'm like, what are they doing? Like,
Exactly.
he's like, and he showed me a couple things, like, but this one right here, this is what they've been making beats on. This one right here. I
Okay.
was like, oh shit, all right, like I need to get that.
So you described to him like, oh, I'm listening to this, I'm listening to that.
Yeah, and he was like he was older than me, but he knew what I,
He
you
knew
know,
what you were
he
talking
knew about
about.
music and he knew about hip hop, you know, to a certain extent. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, they're making beats on this shit.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you bought it at the moment, or you?
I don't think I bought it at the moment. I was like, yo, how much does it cost? And then I figured out like how I was gonna scrape up the money to get it done.
Okay.
And I don't remember how that happened, but I
Really?
know soon
Damn,
that
that'd be great if you could, because some people get discouraged. You know, they're like, it's too
I
expensive.
mean, and you know, in those days, music was very expensive to make. Like these machines that you would like, it's not like everybody has a computer now
Correct.
and that you could just download
You
a
can
free
make it on your
software.
phone, dude.
Right, right.
What-
Like, you had to really like make a concerted effort to like try to get the tool to make the music.
Yeah, one day I went to a friend's house and Boris was there from Beats in the Hood.
Mm.
And he's on his phone and I'm like, yo, who he texting? He's like, I'm making beats. I'm like, what? And I look and yeah, he has a little, and he's making a beat. I'm like, wow, the future.
That's right. That's
Imagine
right.
in 10 years from now what it's going to be.
Well, now like they got these AI programs like, oh, make a beat that sounds like, I don't know.
What do you think about that as a producer?
I mean, you know, listen, you know, people were hating on sampling when it first came out in the 80s and saying like, oh, you're not a real musician because you sampled. And that was technology, you know. The sampler is a piece of tech.
I'm thinking,
The drum machine itself is a piece of technology that made it easier to make music. And musicians that were trained musicians were hating on that.
correct, because they didn't need them anymore.
They're like, oh, you're not really playing the drums. They're like, you know, you're chopping samples. You didn't
Yeah.
bring in the whole band. You didn't bring in the whole entire instruments to
Correct.
record this. Like, so they were saying like, no, that's some BS.
That's not real.
That's not
I mean,
real.
there is a difference. I can feel it, especially when I see a live performance.
There's a difference. Yeah.
There's a big difference. The way you, like, sometimes a mistake might, like, for the trained ear, you could hear the mistake, but the feeling is just better. I don't know. Like, when I see a live performance, it's just way better.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
The feeling,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't,
yeah.
like, even if you do have AI, you can't get that.
Yeah. But I'm not mad at AI. I'm not, you know, I'm not mad at it. I think that,
I think it works.
yeah.
I mean, if you're a producer that's, like, very tedious and you have issues getting the message across to another artist, you know, because I've been in studios where the producer's trying to say, like, no, man, do it like this. And then he's trying to, like, tell them, like, and they can't. And so now you go with AI and
Oh yeah, and they can do the voice and stuff. I'm talking about in the perspective of making beats because now like the AI can like you.
no, I'm
make
talking
a
about
beat.
beats. Like he's telling you with the
or
drums,
telling the drummer,
and he's
oh,
telling
yeah.
the drummer, no, man, do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
And then they're like doing it totally different. And he's like, man, forget it.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
they move on. I've been in situations like that.
Yeah, you know, AI is making everybody in the sense a producer in a way. Like now you're the director. Everybody's becoming a director.
That's what
now,
I mean.
You know, so that's cool. Let's see who could be the best director. You know, who could direct these
a
machines,
different
this
lane
technology
now.
the right way.
Yeah, man.
I'm not mad at it at all. I know like a lot of people are you know doomsday with it. You know, like they're mad. Like a lot of artists are pissed off. You know, like visual artists or painters and stuff. Like you know, this is. But nah, man. Like just
That was the strike in Hollywood, man,
yeah.
because of the writers.
And listen, I mean, I'm sure it's going to affect the economy of writers as the sampler affected the economy of instrumentalists, you know. But the game changes and things adapt and things change and
I mean,
they evolve in different ways.
If they do change and they do evolve, do you see in the future like music awards and like AIs receiving awards?
Like the AI itself, perhaps the developers or the people that are responsible for the AI, behind the AI, yeah.
Because I read an article, man. They're saying that they're creating AI artists.
Yeah.
That way the label could control them. So, like, for instance, if they wanted to sound like a certain artist, AI would do it. If they want them to say certain things, AI would do it.
Yeah.
So it would create the sound and the song exactly how the label wants it without no kickback from the artist. So now if they do that and then that AI artist that's not real goes platinum, triple platinum, who receives the grant?
person that owns it, that person that's prompting it, right?
Yeah, but that person doesn't, all it did was put in keywords. So
Yeah,
like for the
yeah.
best keywords,
Right, but it's going back to what I was saying. It's like, who's the director here? Because look, like, let's take like movie directors, for instance. Like, I don't know, like, any movie director, Scorsese, right? Scorsese necessarily doesn't write the script, right?
Yeah, he directs it.
He directs it. And he's
There's a
like, say it like
producer.
this, doing like that. So what is he really doing except directing, telling people what to do?
That's a good insight. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He's
I see
telling
what you're
people
saying.
what to do. He didn't really write the script. Maybe he has, but for what I know, I don't think he's necessarily the writer. Not like a Quentin Tarantino that actually writes the script.
So you think that's okay and that's going
Yeah, I
in
think
that
that's all right.
direction?
Because, it's democratized in the sense that, if someone else, if you could use it, I could use it too.
So whoever uses it best.
Right.
Back to sampling and beat machines and the whole nine.
Yeah. I mean, I will admit that there's going to be people that are going to suffer because of it. But,
Have you used any AI in your production at all?
no. I've experimented with it, but I haven't actually used it in any.
What do they have nowadays? Like, what could you use?
There's an app. I've experimented. I have it on my phone that you could show it a picture and it'll make a beat inspired by that picture. And if you write words, or you can show it a beat and it can like rework the beat that you showed it.
You show it a picture and it makes a beat from the picture?
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder how that.
Or you can upload a clip, like let's say 10 seconds of a beat, and it'll make something inspired by. Or you can prompt it with words and say, "Give me a beat that sounds like Eminem and J. Cole." I don't know.
And they produce it.
And it'll, and not only would it make
in
a
rapid
beat,
time, right?
It'll also can put lyrics on it too. But what I see, at least for now, that it sounds very mimicky. You know what I mean? It sounds like it's a mimic.
Mm-hmm.
And it does it very well, though. It's like
Isn't that what Drake did when he used the Tupac voice?
Yeah, he used an AI for the Tupac and the Snoop voice.
Yeah, he got a lot of backlash for that.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was cool.
I was torn because I'm a Tupac fan, and I'm like, Tupac would have never done this. So like, why would you want to do it? Like it wasn't. I didn't like it. Like in the sense of like, it wasn't tasteful, man. It was like, this is whack. Now, if he would have made a song with Tupac, like the way 50 did, remember when Eminem produced that whole track? Mm-hmm. That would have been dope. But if he did it at a battle rap and he used Tupac to get back at, like, nah.
I appreciate it in the sense that it was unexpected, and he was one of the first to use AI in a way that it wasn't even expected. You
think he got paid to do that?
I think they took it down. I think that he got sued or something by the estate.
Yeah.
And that opens up another question. Is like, right now, I'm not very clear on who owns the likeness of yourself. You know what I mean? Like, can I just take a picture of you and clone you? And what could you do to me if I do that? So like, I think that's not clearly defined, and that's the more important question.
I think it's the same thing when like
sampling. No, hold on. You don't have a copyright on your own image. You don't.
I mean, you own your
you haven't registered
Social Security number.
Yeah, but that's something else.
That's true.
That's something else.
That's a good question.
Yeah. So it's not clearly defined, and I'm not a lawyer, but I think that's more I think the legality is a more interesting.
I'm sure they're working on that.
Oh, for sure, now. For sure. And again, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know.
It's like when they started doing ringtones.
Right.
Ringtones became a big commodity, and that was never written in a contract, in a music contract, because they didn't exist.
Right.
So as soon as it came about, they had issues, and a lot of artists went and made money off of it. A lot of artists, not knowingly, signed contracts, new contracts, and that was slid in there. And
now people don't even use those ringtones.
Exactly, but for that small time, people came up on a couple million.
That's
man.
That's right.
Wow. So high school, you started dabbling with the MPC after you got it, after you made that choice, no fear and dedication to get it. Do you remember how you got the money for it, or not really?
Nah. I don't remember. Maybe I saved, and I would say I saved or I hustled for it. Like, I somehow got it. I remember it being like $1,000 or $1,500 or something like that.
And this is like what, early 2000s?
I think I got the MPC in like 99 or 2000.
And that's a lot of money at that time.
Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, it is.
So take us there. How'd you feel when you grabbed that machine? And actually,
it's a crazy story because I grabbed the machine and it broke in like a week or two. It had a problem.
Wow.
So I take it back to the store, right?
Yeah.
And first of all, it was difficult to learn because like you don't got YouTube at this point to just put on a tutorial.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like you gotta
read the book.
And like I didn't know anybody that had one. Wow. So I'm like, here I am with this fucking foreign machine, like this what? Computer, and like, you know, I didn't really know what to do. You know, I didn't know what the approach is. Like I didn't know how to sequence music on a machine.
So how long did it take you to actually learn how to?
I don't know, but some time. But it broke right in that process. In the first few weeks or a month, it broke. So I take it back to Guitar Center. I'm like, yo, what's up with this shit? You know, it's broken. And the guy's like, yeah, it is. It's got there's a defect. We're going to send it back to the manufacturer.
Okay.
And we're going to get it fixed for you. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting.
They didn't just give you they had to send all of them back.
They had to send it back to get it repaired, right? So I was like, fuck, man, here I am. You know what I mean? I'm all hype and here I'm already running into a roadblock.
You broke it. Like, what did I do?
But I remember thinking, I'm like, who's trying to fuck with me here? Like someone don't want me to make beats. Like I remember this thought in the back of my mind very vividly.
Really?
Yeah. And then like a month passes by, 2 months passes by. I go back, you know, I start complaining, and finally the guy's like, yo, I don't know, I think your shit got lost. Yo, we got you, B. And he comes and he hooks me up with the 2000 XL, which is the better version.
Wow.
And
Are you a spiritual person?
Yeah, you know, absolutely, yeah.
You think that was divine intervention?
Yeah, definitely. Think
about it. You were thinking like, so you're like,
I had it in the back of my mind. I was like, negative thoughts. Like, yo, maybe this is like, I'm not supposed to do this. Like, I felt the force trying to take me away from it.
Wow.
And, it was, and I really wanted to do this shit, right? Like, I really wanted to, like, whoa, where's my machine?
Yeah,
like,
how bad do you want it?
Right. And then so finally it was a long time for me.
Yeah, it was like 1.5, 2 months. When you're young, that's forever.
2 months. And, you know, like, and I just had started learning this shit.
Yeah.
And so he gives me the 2000 XL, which is the newer version of it, because I had just the 2000, right? So he gives me
XL is the extra large, what it has more pads, right?
the more expensive version, right? The newish one that came. I'm like, oh shit, I got the fucking XL. Nice. I come home like, all right, boom, and yeah, that XL worked clean, and you know what? I still have that XL today. The screen is fucking no longer really works. It's like.
Can't you take it back and try to get it fixed, man?
I don't know. It's like a fucking souvenir. No, I still have it.
You're gonna frame it and put it.
You know, right now it's like a piece of furniture. You know what I mean? I still have it.
That's a great story, though.
I still have it. So yeah, I really got my chops on that machine, and it took off from there.
And how many people have you taught how to use those machines?
I don't know. When I was living in New York, I would actually, you know, when I was living in New York and I first opened up a studio, I started 95 Labs in New York. I would just put out Craigslist ads like, yo, you want to learn? I'll teach you for free. Here's a free hour and shit.
What about that?
Because I was new to the city. I didn't know anybody, and I was working, and I was like, I was working at a gym. Finally, I saved up my money, and I got a space.
So you graduated high school here. You went and you got the MPC. Then you started creating beats.
I created beats. No, then I lived in Gainesville. I went to UF. I had a little studio up there. I produced some artists up there.
You went to university.
I went to UF.
Yeah.
I dropped out of high school, and then I ended up getting a fake ass high school diploma through one of these scam schools. It was like one that you paid for and shit. Yeah. I dropped out, but I got it. I got this diploma, right?
Man, as long as
and
you
then I went to Dade, and Dade I signed up for sound recording, and they give you free studio time.
Oh, nice.
So that was when I really learned how to record.
Okay.
And Dade, the MIDI lab and shit like that. So I recorded there for
the South Campus, right?
In the Kendall campus.
Campus.
Kendall campus. And that's where I learned. That was the first time I was like in a big studio. Like they have a real big studio there.
Yeah.
And at that point, they were still recording on an 8-track.
Okay.
8-DAT. An 8-DAT machine. It looks like a VCR.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, boom, boom, you know. And I was doing that, but I wasn't really like focused on school, you know. Like
you just wanted to make music.
I just took the class to get the free studio time.
Shotty said that too, that he recorded over there a whole bunch of times.
Like a lot of people from Kendall went through there. That's and awesome. Like, not that they were like crazy about schools. Like, bro, you just enroll and you get free studio time. So we get to fucking record a track. So it's like, yo, get to class. You know what I mean? And then I ended up buying an 8-DAT machine.
Okay.
The same machine that they had in the studios, just one of them, because they had them stacked like VCR. So each machine would record 8 tracks.
Okay.
And I bought one for the crib.
Nice.
And then, I put it in the crib and I started recording there. And like I would invite people to my mom's crib. I was still like living in my mom's crib.
Nice. So you were creating that self-concept, which was the Tev95s, and then you were creating music. What made you decide to go to New York?
I went, I finished, when I went up to Gainesville, I finished school there. I came back down, You know,
Also studies music over there.
no,
sound engineer and all
Like
that?
I dropped the music major. I was
Okay.
like, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
you know, I was dating a girl that was going to UF, and I would go to visit her, and I'm like, yo, this shit's crazy out here. I can make mad money.
Got it.
You know, I was like, I had already started hustling at that time. I was
Got
like,
it.
fuck that. I can come out here and get money. And then she's like, yo, I can show you how to get a grant so that you can come to school. You just got to do good. And you can't be doing this music shit because you're not going to get into school like that. Like
Got
you're not, there's not really a path. I was like, fuck it. I switched my major to business, and yo, I did good. And I got accepted.
Music. What is it? Music business.
Yeah, I wasn't really music business. I just did business admin. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
just
but I'm saying
generic.
they're both in, like
I
if you
guess I
merge
had
them
that,
together.
Yeah, I had that thought. So, I ended up at UF, and I went out there because I got free money, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna fucking hustle the shit out of this. And like, yo, I was booming out there, and
That was in the early 2000s, right?
yeah, like mid 2000s shit.
Nice. That's when it was
Yeah.
popping out there.
Yeah. So, I finally, with the grace of God, I graduated, but I stayed there too long. I got caught up in a case and all that shit.
Wow.
And fucking, we don't even need to get into that.
Nah, man, you just had to go through your trials and
But
tribulations.
yeah, I got roped up. I went to jail and all that shit. And that was a turning point. I was like, yo, like I can't be living life like this. I can't be hustling no more. Like,
So, what conversations did you have with yourself when you were going through this?
no, that's when I turned to God, man. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, if you can get me out of this, like if you find me a path, I won't.
He's probably like, I did, man. I gave you the NPC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you,
But
just
I made
didn't think about
I
that.
made a promise. I'm like, I'm not gonna hustle no more, man. Like I promise you, like I won't do this no more.
Nice.
And I kept my promise. And then so here I'm at, broke because I lost everything, fucking lost everything, right? And I'm like, what am I gonna do? And at that point, I had met my wife,
Okay.
but we weren't like together like that. But she was going to school in New York, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna go visit you. And she was out there doing school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is New York. This is it. Like, this is
is
the
the
mecca.
Mecca, yeah.
Like, and I'm like, this is where I've always wanted to be. Like, this is it.
So again, divine intervention.
And she's like, yo, come up here. Come up here. And I
Yeah.
was like, fuck, maybe I should. You know what I mean?
Why
Like,
not?
I don't got anything going for me over
Yeah.
here. I got fucking arrested. I did all this shit. Like, if I stay here, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, you're gonna get back in the mix of the.
I'm gonna keep
Old
with the
thing,
drugs,
old
and I'm
ways.
gonna, you know what I mean. So it's like, I saw a new path, like like a whole new direction. I was like, yo, I'm gonna go up to New York. So I ended up there.
Nice. How long were you in New York for?
I lived in New York for 10 years.
Nice. And then what part of New York? What borough?
I lived in Manhattan. I lived in Brooklyn, and I lived in Harlem.
And what moves did you make out there? Because I think you picked up a lot of
Right
like,
there, like that's really
skill
when
sets.
when I like started working as a producer. Like like
Nice.
I was in like there was a point for a good several years that I was only making money recording and doing videos. Like, it was when the DSLR started popping. And
Yeah.
like I had a space, so like that was like my creative space. Like I was really like, all
Into
right,
art, yeah.
I was a like full fledged. I was doing events. I did
Nice.
the Brooklyn Music Video Festival for like 4 years. We had like legends out there, fucking Fab Five Freddy and shit. I started doing shows. Like I really
dove in.
became a professional in that
Nice.
sense that I was making money and being a creative. And I started 95 Labs out there, And then Shoddy seen what was popping.
When he was out there.
No. Like
From
I was
here.
out there, yeah, from here, and I was like hollering at him. I was like, yo, like, I got this.
So you
shit.
guys knew each other from.
I known him from Sal.
Okay.
Before I moved up to New York, I was working at Sal Studio with Lowe's, which is I'm not sure if you know Lowe's,
Yeah.
first class Lowe's. He did a lot of shit for Trick and a lot of people out here.
Yeah.
And he kind of became like my mentor in a way. Like
Got
he was the first producer that I met that was actually like had sold beats and like
Yeah.
known like real artists. And
So
they
you,
were like-
you could see that it's real.
Right. Like
Okay.
at that point, like before that, I was just like recording the homies in my house and shit. Like I didn't know.
With correct structure? Or
Yeah,
not?
yeah. Like I had kind of an idea,
Okay.
because I had a background in music, so I knew how to count
There
and
you
shit.
go.
And
Okay.
but what was the question? Like that? What were you doing before you went to New York?
No, in New York, like what made you get into that zone over there in New York?
Oh no, I went to New York with that intention.
Okay,
That was my intention because, like, I don't want to be in the streets out here anymore. I don't want to be hustling out here because I was like, I always had one foot in music and the other foot fucking doing some bullshit, right?
Got it.
Like fucking scamming and fucking
Yeah,
selling
yeah,
drugs
yeah.
and stupid.
Finding your way.
Yeah, and shit that I'm not proud of now, but it's reality. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And that's when I was fucking with Sal and them, and like, and they knew it was like I had caught a case up. I was on probation. I had to have my probation officer come through, and I was like, it was a fucking mess. And finally, when I turned that leaf, I was like, am I gonna just stay here and, like, fuck that? I'm gonna go to New York.
And there was no fear?
Nah.
You were like, I'm just gonna go see this girl.
At this point, like, I had already, like, dodged the fucking,
through so much,
bro. I had dodged so much shit, and like I had beat a Fed case, bro.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, what the fuck am I gonna do now? Like, I just dodged a fucking huge ass bullet, bro.
Yeah, at least you were wise enough to be like, yo, I'm out. Let me do something
Yeah.
different.
So I went out there and with the intent, I'm gonna start from scratch. I only had like a few dollars to my name. And shout out to my wife, man, because at that point I didn't know we were gonna end up to be together like that.
She's like a little angel on your shoulder.
She was, man. Like, it's funny because when that leaf turned,
Yeah.
that's when she came into my life, man.
Again.
Yeah.
Intervention, man, is weird.
Yeah.
Like the universe never makes mistakes. I like to say that.
Yeah.
And things always come about. It's just a decision that you make. Like, if you don't really think about your future and really analyze the next move, you're just gonna do what you're trained to do. And what you're trained to do is follow suit to what other people are doing that might not be the best for you. You know what I mean? So, like, a lot of kids idolize these so-called gangsters, rappers or artists or celebrities, and when really what they're doing is not right, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So again, we're here trying to message, follow your intuition. Look what happened to Tev. He went to New York, developed a skill set, and now he's killing it.
Yeah.
So from New York, take us after that when you came back from Miami. Or did you work with a lot of artists in New York and made noise?
So, like, I had started my own label. There's 95 Labs. I still run it now. You know what I mean? Like, that was the shit that I had started. And, like, really the artist that I really have always believed in is Shotty, man. Like, even from New York, like, right when I left, I had started mixing some stuff for him. And I already knew him from South Studio.
Okay.
But, like, not like that, like, he was just another rapper that would come to the studio. And I know he had his little movement out here with ID4.
Yeah.
And, but I wasn't, like, making beats for him or anything. I had maybe recorded a track for him, or it wasn't like that. But once I started mixing shit for him and, like, really listening to his raps, I was like, hold up. This dude's a fucking legend. Like, Shotty's one of the illest. Like, I'll put him against any dude in the industry.
Yeah, I hear his stuff now, and it's up there.
I was like, yo, I got this. I just set up a lab in New York. Like, why don't you fucking come over here and we can record something?
Nice.
And then it was, I guess, very intriguing to him because I'm out there and fucking, I got a studio in Brooklyn and
New York.
I'm renting the Mecca, and he's like, fuck that, I'm gonna come through. So he came through a few times, and he's like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna fucking stay here, bro. So he got a little apartment out there, and he was out there for several years.
Yeah, and, he was telling us he was in LA and he was also in New York.
Yeah.
And that's what developed his style.
So he was like that artist, man.
You're from LA and you came to Miami and went to New York.
Yeah.
He's from Miami. He went to LA and then he went to.
So we have a similar.
Yeah, man, the synergy's there, and you could hear it.
And yeah, I worked with a lot of artists up there, not major artists, a lot of underground artists. I got a lot of experience, like, promoting shows and setting up things. It was like, I think it was really like a training in being an independent creative.
Nice.
Yeah. And how to sustain yourself as an independent creative.
Was there any doubt ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the doubts, they came later on after being in the game. So, like, after being there for, like, so many years, you're like, yo,
it's just gonna pop off.
It's, I guess you're always waiting for that big
break.
That big break, and that big break didn't ever come like that. You know what I mean? And in fact, the longer we were out there, the more the music scene was dying, because I had left and I had just seen people out here fucking with Trig, Pitt, and, like, we had sold beats for several thousands of dollars. And I was like, all right, like, bro, if I go to New York with this shit, at least I can do something.
And then it started simmering.
And it wasn't, this is nothing directed me personally, was just the industry started to fizzle out because like there was less and less money in the industry as time progressed.
That's when it was started changing from the sales, physical sales,
Right. Physical sales started selling. There was more downloads, and then you started getting streaming, and like music started dying as far as economically. Producers weren't getting the bag.
Correct.
You know, I would run around with Lowe's. We were selling beats here. Here's a beat we just did. Boom, $3-4 grand. Boom, like people were signing checks.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit, like you know,
In New York, it was gonna double
and
up
imagine if I actually caught a fucking a little record that was like, you know,
even more.
right. So I, like that's what I was expecting. But as time started getting closer to now, like
Yeah.
it started like, you know,
Fizzling out.
like,
So that's when the doubt kicked in.
I started seeing the industry fizzle out. And
Okay.
I'm like, damn, bro, I've been mad work. Like, is this industry sustainable?
Okay.
And all the doubts came in, man.
And what kept you going?
What's kept me going, man, is just I love this shit, bro. I do this shit. I don't even look at it for money. You know what I mean? I learned that, you know, you always gotta have another. You can't just say this is the only thing. Like you can't expect to just make money producing.
Yeah, if you do what you love and it blows, good. If it doesn't, you're still doing what you love.
I've told this a lot to artists, man. The game is a lot like a lottery. Okay. Like here's an example. Look how many people have done American Idol.
Correct.
Or America's Got Talent, or these shows, right?
Yeah, and they got world exposure.
And these people are fucking talented. If
still
you
didn't make
win
it.
American Idol, bro, you can sing, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
are you're a singer.
Yeah.
How many of those people have actually made it to stardom? As far as like on the radio, you got maybe Kelly Clarkson,
Correct.
the other girl that sings really good. I forgot her name. Jennifer Hudson
Okay.
and Carrie
I mean, a
Underwood.
few made it. They didn't sustain it, though.
I can't name you more than 5 out of the past 30 years. There's been like 30 winners, bro.
Correct.
Right? There's been like 30 winners, right?
Yeah,
So
I see your point.
this is not a game about skills, bro. This is
your
not a
point.
game about skills. This is there's skills, you know what I mean, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But there's also a lottery here, bro. Like there's only a certain amount of winners that can win that bingo card, bro.
Correct.
And you know,
And once they win, they don't let it go, man. They stay up there.
right.
And to get up there is a mission.
Yeah. So you either, you know, you understand that and do it or not do it. So like, are you doing it besides that?
Got it.
So what's kept me in the game is understanding the way the game is and not worrying about that anymore. You know what I'm saying? I make music now for me, bro. You know what I mean? And for the culture of hip hop and for what it stands for people that like music like I like music.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it because and not only is it music, it's also the visuals.
Yeah.
The things that you guys are doing is different.
Yeah.
So it's an approach. It's like a package deal, you know? It's not because I know a lot of artists that they do a video for the track and then they might promote it a little bit, but they don't go the extra mile.
Yeah.
And what I've seen that you've done with Shadi and also Mowgli's picking up on that same vibe too is that you guys take it to the next level. You know, like make hard copies, like do things that people are not expecting.
Yeah, but that's after years in the game of being out there. Like a lot of the plays that we run now, I was running
Back then.
out there. You know
So
what I'm
you
saying?
came down and
like
shared the
these
knowledge.
little music, like listening sessions and shit like
Yeah.
that, and these little shows and shit. Like I was doing that shit. We have an album, Blackest Rose. It was in 2012. I can remember how we set that listening session up in Brooklyn, and like how we did that. So like a lot of the shit that we do here is a reflection of what we learned out there.
So if you would have never gone out there, that this movement might have never
and,
happened.
and it was like, you know, learning like on the fly and being able to like saying what we're gonna do, you know. And now we've gotten a lot better at it, and now we have the big pictures. Like we're creating a product, it has to have a brand. That like, you know, there's got to be a rollout.
That's exactly what I'm talking
You know
about.
what I mean? Like there's a lot of elements that are to it, but that just didn't happen overnight, bro. That's through trial and error, of 10 plus years
Experience.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Like I said, because in Miami, it's always about the limelight and what you could do and look at what I got and this and that. But nobody has followed through with the extensive art. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I like to see it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like looking at Shotty's catalog and I'm seeing Go Farm 1, Go Farm 2. And then, what was it? The Wolf Farm. And then
Goat Wolves and Wolf
Goat
Goats.
Wolves.
Yeah, like, you know.
it's like, oh, okay. So it's multiplying. It's getting bigger. I'm excited to see what's coming up next, man.
Next, I got I'm gonna shout it out now because that's what I'm doing. I was listening to it in the car. I got my instrumental album coming out. It's called Crime Loops, and it's part 4. It's a series that I started out there in New York,
Okay.
and I would say it's the first solo work that really attracted artists towards me when I was up there. I released Crime Loops 1. I really met a lot of people because of that up there, and I made relationships, and it was my way of like attracting MCs that I didn't know. And I did part 1, 2, and 3 out there. And it's been a long time since I've done an instrumental album.
Okay. How do you go about that process?
This one, I mean, like I had been sitting on several beats for a long time.
Okay.
I'm always making tracks. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but you're always around these rappers, and I'm sure they hear them. They're like, "Yo, I want that one."
Yeah.
You say nah, or what?
I'm choosy of who I send beats to.
Nice.
I'm really choosy of who I send beats to. There's like several people that I just like. I know the people I send beats to.
Okay.
But it's been, like I said, it's been a while since I've done like an instrumental album that's like, yo, here's a beat.
Crime Loops.
Yeah.
So there's Crime Loops 1, 2, and this is 4.
Part 4 is coming out now. And that'll be dropping soon. Like I was listening to it in the car, making sure it's right. You know what I mean? And
When
I
does it
haven't
drop?
done anything. When does it drop? I don't have a date, bro. Like, but it's about damn near done.
How many tracks?
It's got 30 tracks.
Holy. Okay.
But I'm doing it in a way where the tracks are very short.
So what, like seconds or a minute, maybe?
Yeah, so no track is more than like 2 minutes.
Got it.
So they're all like very short. So I want people to listen to this as a whole.
Got it.
And be able to just throw this beat tape on and just vibe to whether you're working, you're studying, and just like something in the.
So it's like a symphony.
It's like a symphony, yeah.
Oof, I want to hear that now.
Yeah.
Fire.
So that's what I got popping. It'll be out real soon, like very soon. I don't know when this podcast is going to be out.
It'll be out like in 2 weeks.
So close to probably.
Yeah, it'll be like the end of October, maybe the beginning of October. Yeah, beginning of October.
Yeah, so sometime maybe by the time this comes out, Crime Loops is up.
Hell yeah, we'll collaborate. We'll do it
But
together.
yeah, peep that Crime Loops, 95 Labs, man. Tev95. It's been a minute. I've done several instrumental projects, but I think my last one was in 2017.
Wow.
So, I'm excited about this one.
Nice. Yeah. So what made you go from New York to come to Miami?
I wanted to change, and then I finally got married.
Okay.
I got married when I was up there, and we really wanted a family, man. I wanted to have a family, and it was clear to me that I'm not going to have a family in the city. I'm not going to be living in Harlem pushing the fucking stroller, bro.
That's true.
Jumping on the train. So it was clear as day to me. I'm like, I'm not going to have kids in this environment because it's just too much of a mission, bro. Like, so it's like, we come back over here and we have support from the fam and we can have a family. So that's why we came. And, now I got my beautiful children, man. And like, it's the greatest thing,
And how was that change? Did you guys adapt to it, or did you come back like, whoa, this
man,
is different? Because Miami changed a lot.
I came from Harlem all the way to fucking West Kendall. And it was like, yo, this is the fucking campo out here, bro. This is like, I remember driving when I first came back down 137. It was so dark to me, like, because I was living in Harlem, so like the fucking lights, I forgot how dark it could be at night.
Really? Wow, because you didn't leave the city at all, pretty much.
I was so Harlem's in Manhattan.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, I was on 145th, right? So like this is like you're in the fucking thick of it.
Yeah. And
like you can't like there's bright lights everywhere you go.
Correct.
You can't see the fucking stars and shit. Like I mean the buildings are blocking the sky, so you're like in this fucking box, right? Like And I kind of forgot how dark it can get at night.
Yeah.
And I'm like driving, like, damn, this shit is fucking dark as fuck out this.
Let me turn on my lights.
Yeah, it's like I forgot how dark it is. But in retrospect, man, I'm glad that we're out here, man. And I'm back to where I grew up. I grew up not
full circle.
I didn't grow up in West Kendall, but I grew up pretty much Kendall and Westchester. I went to Southwest, like I said, and we're back,
and making noise.
And making noise, man.
Seems like you went on a venture, man. You went and you lived your
life.
But
I had to go on a pilgrimage to sharpen the blades and shit. You know what I mean? You got to go and get knowledge outside of here.
Yeah, you weren't afraid to make moves, man. A lot of people do that. Like I was telling you earlier, man, a lot of people have talent or have aspirations to become more and do more, but they never make a move. Or they'll just be like, oh, one day.
Yeah, I encourage people to go abroad, and go live in different places and
different cultures, different experiences.
And you know what I mean? And see what that brings out of you, you know.
It brings character and it builds a self-concept.
Because when you're living in places where you don't know that many people, you have a more time to yourself. And shout out to Mexicano 777, rest in peace. I remember him telling me one time, he's like, you know who you really are? You really are the person you are when you're by yourself. That's who you really are.
That's a good message.
And I remember he told me that, and it still rings true to this day, man. And you know, he's no longer with us, but you know, that's one of the greatest artists I ever worked with, man.
It's a good message because when you're by yourself, you think of that, and then
who you are when you're alone.
Yeah,
that's who you really are.
That makes sense.
You know, because you know people put on a different face for different situations, and you know, But yeah, that's what he told me. So you know, when you travel, or not even travel, when you go and live somewhere else, and you don't know, you're posting up, you don't know, like you know, you have more time alone and reflect. And you can kind of like.
And after what you went through, you have more to reflect from.
Yeah.
Wow, and it builds you to where that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And that's why the beats are a little bit more harmonized. They're a little more grimy.
Yeah, I like that sound too, you know. Like
that sound is great.
Yeah, I like that sound.
I love it because it doesn't take away from the vocals or the lyrics, but it adds like a weird, mysterious vibe, which is great. And that's when I was telling Shadi and Mowgli, I was like, yo, when you jump on Tev shit, it sounds way different.
I appreciate that, man.
It's awesome, brother.
Yeah.
All right, so like at the end of the podcast, brother, I like to ask a few questions. That way we could see where the mind's at. Have you seen the movie Bronx Tale?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, man.
All right, the scene when he asked Sonny.
Don't waste your talent, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Message. Don't waste your talent.
Yeah.
When he asked Sonny, do you rather be loved or feared?
I'm going to go with love, bro.
Okay, why is that?
I think love is more powerful in the end, bro.
Okay.
Love is what creates. Fear destroys.
All right, it's good. You said create.
Yeah.
Do you like the creation of something or the comparison of something to create?
I don't know what the latter really means, so I'm going to say what creation is more important, making things. Right?
Yeah, because some people, like, well, say you got the beat and you didn't know what you were doing. You were just making it. Yeah. You weren't really trying to mimic something. Some people compare it to other things.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do it like that.
Yeah.
And you as a producer, that's a good answer. You like to create. All right, knowing or understanding?
Knowing or understanding. I mean, those go hand in hand. But, you know, wisdom is applying what you know, knowing to do what you know. So, you know, knowledge is important, and knowing to do what you know is somewhat synonymous with understanding. So, you know, you can't have, well, knowledge comes before understanding. You have to know before you understand. You know of something, and then you can understand it. Like, I can show you.
So knowing, right?
So they come in steps. So, like, you know, the first is knowing, and then you can understand it after.
Okay.
And that's the wisdom right there.
Nice. Wealth or riches?
Wealth.
All day?
Yeah.
Perception or reality?
Perception or reality. You know, to some people, you know, reality becomes what they perceive, you know, like, so perception is reality.
Okay. Joy or happiness?
Joy or happiness. Those are synonymous as well. Like, I think you're looking at the swords, they'll be like next to each other, right?
Yeah, so like joy will be like your firstborn. You're so happy. You have joy. And then it becomes to happiness, depending on the situation.
Yeah, joy sounds probably more lasting.
Emotional intelligence. What do you think about that term?
Yeah, I think that that's something that we can all improve on. I think that's something that's not very taught in school. You know?
At all, dude.
That's something that you kind of like got to freestyle on your own and learn. By
knowledge of self.
That's right.
If you have emotional intelligence, you know self and you understand the feeling. Like, I read it one time and I learned it. Like, people have like an emotion and they have an action right after. Instead of having the emotion, thinking about it, and then having an action.
Yeah.
That'll prevent you a lot of problems. And ever since I've learned that, I'm like, all right, something happens, somebody does something to me, you get that anger.
That's right.
And then you're like, yo, hold up.
Yeah.
That's not even worth it, man.
Yeah,
and you just keep it moving. All right. Ooh, power of choice. What do you think of that term?
You have the power to choose. Yeah.
Yeah, you think it's an important thing, or you think it's a valuable thing?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have power and choice. Okay. Pain versus suffering.
Suffering is like endured pain, right? Like it's like, you know, you could suffer if you're feeling pain over a sustained period of time.
Well, what people say is that suffering is a choice. Because you could have pain, but are you going to suffer from it? That's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, let's say you have a loss in your family. Did you choose to have that loss?
Well, I mean, no, but like the
Or you could
suffering
choose to
part,
suffer.
you could have pain
Yeah.
and it hurts, but to keep suffering, like for instance, you have a definite family, it hurts you. You don't feel like making beats, and you're like, you're suffering.
Mm.
You could just be like, you know what? It's in the past. Let's keep it moving.
Mm.
You choose to not suffer any longer, and you keep making beats, and then it takes you away from that suffering.
Or you could choose to act regardless of the suffering. You know what I mean? Like just
Choice. There
Yeah.
you go. Logic or intuition?
both are important. Intuition is rarer than logic, I think.
Yeah, that's why I asked you the question about the NPC. I was like, yo, where did you get
Logic
that?
is, you know, 2 + 2 = 4. Intuition is like knowing why, like
Why or what
how to
made this
apply
math?
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, intelligence versus experience.
Intelligence versus experience.
Which one do you value more?
Experience.
Okay. Discipline or self-respect? Which one do you value more?
That's a good one too. Again, you know, I think you're asking questions of things that are like very
Yeah, but
intertwined.
that's what I told you. Like we always have choices.
Yeah.
If you're a very disciplined person, you might do things correctly, but you don't do things that apply self-respect to yourself. Like, let's just say, I'm no one to judge, but anybody on OnlyFans that's doing it, like you have no self-respect. You're just having disciplined enough to do it.
Yeah,
content.
but are you disciplined not to do it? Though? You know what I'm saying? Like that.
So you could go either way.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think that a path to self-respect is having discipline that you know is real. You know what I mean? Like,
Nice. See, that's a good answer.
yeah.
Okay. Would you rather hear dreams or stories?
Would I rather hear dreams or
Like if a person tells you their dreams, or would you rather hear a person tell you a story of something that happened?
I think dreams are stories, right? Like a dream is a story you tell yourself, right? Like
Yeah, but like
a story you created, a scene that you created for yourself, or that was sent to you.
Yeah, but
arguably,
dreams are crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
dreams
When
are
somebody
crazy.
tells you a dream, you're like, yo, you had that dream? That's nuts.
Yeah.
When somebody tells you a story that really happened, you could be in the same context. Like,
dreams have more of a mystique to them, right?
correct.
Yeah, they have more of a mystique because like you don't understand them all the way sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah, dreams are cool. Yeah.
Dreams are awesome. I love to hear people's dreams all the time because I'm a barber, man, and I be cutting hair all the time, and people be like, bro, I had this dream the other day. I was like, yo, tell me. Yo.
Yeah.
And then they tell you a dream, and then we try to figure out what exactly is the message.
Yeah.
Because I do believe that dreams kind of send a message out there.
Yeah, I think it's the subconscious trying to send you a message or prepare you for something.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's like the back of your brain, like getting you ready.
Yeah, the Native Americans loved it, and that's why they took themselves to like another realm and another train of thought.
But there's value in stories too, man. Like, I mean, look at the Bible, man. The Bible is just a collection of stories, right? Like of what happened or not, arguably, you know what I mean? But it's a story nonetheless, right? It's a story.
It's a good story. I think it's the best story. But
greatest story ever told, right?
Correct. But then there's a lot of other books that were meant to be in the Bible that never made it to the Bible. And
but what I'm saying is that those stories that are very valuable, right? Like the ones that are even there, like, you know, they're a valuable piece, right?
They're valuable if you understand them.
Yeah, yeah.
If you don't understand, that's why I prefer going to like a Bible study instead of going to church.
But look,
because you could dive into these questions of why is that?
So
how come?
What, are you going to get more wisdom or knowledge of self or understanding from reading stories from the Bible or reading a book of dreams?
I think they're both because there is. We'd have to ask Roger, the producer of Creative Currency. He knows. But I'm sure there's a lot of stories about dreams, man.
There's a story about dreams. But
there's a story about everything in the Bible if you know how to like find it and actually.
I'm sure there's stories about dreams in the Bible too, but I'm saying like for the most part, it's stories about things that happened. You know what I mean?
In life.
Yeah.
And what do they say? Life is but a dream.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Yo, Tev, man, we finished the podcast, man. Everything was cool. Let everybody know what handles to find you in. You already told them about the new project you're working on.
Yeah.
Let them know where to find that, and also let them know what else to expect from you.
Tev95, 95 Lens on Instagram, on IG, and Tev95_ on TikTok. Trying to do the TikTok too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's a mission.
Yeah, I got, I'm up on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got up on there. And so, 95 Lens, Tev95, Tev95 on Spotify, 95labs.com. Just, Tev95, you put it on Google, come up.
Nice.
I got Crime Loops coming out. It's going to be on my Bandcamp, and I'll also have it on streamers as well. And, yeah, man, tune into the catalog and shit, like.
Yo, it's a good catalog.
Yeah, bro.
Guys, tune in. Thank you for watching.